We are live, episode 9 of the Anabolic Mafia with myself and I agree Chris Massaro. Can't believe we're on episode 9 already.
I know. It's flying by, man. It's crazy.
Too fast. Thanksgiving's already here.
Yeah. What are you doing for Thanksgiving again?
Going to Vegas, flying out Wednesday, I think. So yeah, we're gonna go to Vegas, spend it out there with Flex and his family and
Oh yeah.
see everybody out there. Yeah, it'll be cool.
That's gonna be awesome. I'm jealous. I want to get out of the cold. I think it's like 6 degrees outside now.
Oh, I don't
It's
even know what
pretty.
that feels like. Yeah, I'm sure it's nice to look at.
It's pretty, but yeah, it hurts.
What are you guys doing?
So we thought about flying out to like visit either my family or her family, but like people, it's so expensive, to fly from Alaska. It's like we looked at tickets. It would have been like $4,500 to fly. So I'm like, I'm good. I'll just stay home. So we're just gonna do like a little friendsgiving thing with a couple of the buddies from the gym and stuff. So,
Nice. And I don't know if you saw with your luck with flying this year,
oh my
there's
god,
this
yeah,
massive nationwide storm that's going to be affecting the East Coast
oh
and
sick.
the flights going out of like Atlanta, North Carolina, New York, such and so forth. It's like sweeping across the nation. So it's probably best you guys stay put because with your luck, you would have been stuck somewhere for 2 days.
No, it's like every single time. Every flight I've had has been stuck somewhere. So
Yeah, I wasn't surprised every time you would text me and say, "Oh, delayed or flights canceled."
I was asking my buddy, I'm like, hey, so like, are you, asking him if he wanted to go down to nationals, because he was interested in going. He's like, I don't want to fly with you, man. He's like, you have terrible luck. I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't either.
Are you going?
Yeah, I'll be going. I'll be down there on the
Nice.
10th. I got a client competing in classic, and then I got some other buddies competing in different categories and open, and then friend competing in physique and stuff. So be there to help him out and walk him through everything.
Nice. It's in Texas.
Yeah, Texas, Irving.
I wish they still had it in Miami.
Yeah, it was fun, man. You know,
It
I
was,
haven't
yeah.
I haven't been there in so long though, like into Houston and stuff. No, I'm sorry, that's Dallas. Dallas Fort Worth is the closest place.
I've been to Texas. Well, I drove through Texas. I think when drove down from Vegas, I went to Texas to do a sleep apnea test for a day, but I don't think I've ever been to Texas really like that.
Yeah, only like driving through and stopping. Here, give me 1 second, brother.
Yeah,
Here, give me a check.
check, mic check,
One more time.
check, testing the quality.
All right, give me a check again,
Check. I wonder if it's a cord.
dude. I'm thinking it's got to be because like it just randomly goes.
I think it's the cord.
So I mean, I've had no problems ever until like 5 minutes ago, and then now I'm getting it's every once in a while it just starts buzzing. So if I literally just click on and off with the audio, it's fine. So
That's weird.
yeah, but yeah, once again, still learning how to do all this stuff. So it's like I swear to God, every single episode, like there's another thing I learn and something that can get fucked up. It's only making it better though. So
That's right. Improvement in progress. So
yeah, legit. Um, yeah, what I want to go over though, we are definitely gonna do some. So for the listeners out there, we're definitely gonna be doing question Q and A's today. We put up those on our Instagram, but I wanted to go over a little bit of Japan because that was pretty interesting. Pretty interesting turnout.
yeah, and it was a big show.
Yeah,
Big
there's like
show.
30 something guys in the show.
I was not expecting that because I had a client compete in it. Shout out to Manoj from India.
Yep.
He is a former classic physique competitor. I believe they placed second at a classic physique show, but we weren't working together. We actually started working together pretty much, if I'm correct, exactly a year ago. And it's going to be a pretty crazy before and after to post up. But I remember he came to me. He was like, I don't know if I should do classic anymore. It's very hard for me to make the weight. Told me how he was making weight. I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's possible. So let's give the open class a try. And put on a lot of size. He placed 11th, which is
Mhm.
good out of whatever, how many people is there. But Still needs the size to be competitive at a top level in the open class, which he understands and he's fine with. So shout out to Minaj. He looked awesome. Just needs to put on the size all around to improve. But yeah, man, it actually the only complaint I have about the show is the lighting and
Yeah,
the
once again, yeah,
animation and all that. Like it was crazy. But yeah, pretty big show. I mean, there was some bigger names in there, not anything crazy, but
yeah,
there were some big names.
absolutely. I mean, I'm gonna pull up this picture of Sean, of course, because he looked insane.
Yeah, Sean looked great.
Yeah, so we got Sean here. I mean, he's freaking shredded. And someone was telling me, they were like, I don't see how he's winning when these other guys are so much bigger than him. But like, you have to understand like how much muscle he has on that frame. I know he's like 185 pounds, but he looks jacked. And if you see him in person, he still looks freaking huge.
And that's
I
the
mean,
thing too. Like
yeah,
pictures, like you and I speak about pictures all the time. But imagine what he looks like in person next to these guys.
yeah, he's got like, look at this, just saran wrap, totally shredded.
Yeah,
I
his
mean,
his
he looks
conditioning,
fantastic.
as
Yeah.
always, is spot on. But his waistline was great. His lines were good. He,
Hmm.
out of everybody, was the most complete. Listen, people could say size, right? But conditioning, shape, lines. I mean, he was phenomenal.
Yeah, you can't control your bones. Like if that's all that God gave you, and He's put as much muscle as you can possibly put on that physique. You know,
Yeah, just look at that. Shoulders to the lats, to the waist, to the quads. Just crazy X frame.
no, absolutely. So I mean, like, and I'll argue that at the Olympia, I mean, you could easily make an argument that he could have beat Keon this year. And Keon, we've already talked about. He's probably one of the best bodybuilders of all time with the package that he has. But still, like, you can't just leave a window open for Sean. He looks insane.
No, well, like you said, could have made the argument for him winning.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying.
with that level of condition, like, wow, that's incredible.
Look at that.
Incredible. I don't have, he cannot get, in the moment, you can't sit here and say, oh, he could be fuller, he could be drier. In my
No.
opinion, like, this is a perfect peak and package for him.
He's full and extremely hard, man. And then I'm gonna open up right here. Florian. Is that how you say his name? Florian?
Florian Antoine Delez Porson. Sure, I butchered that, but
Yeah. So what do you think about him?
I thought he looked great. Good size, good condition. Obviously, Sean was harder. Um,
Hmm.
you know, Compared to Sean, he has more holes in his physique, especially from the
Yep.
back.
Yep.
But I thought he looked good, especially compared to the guy Joan who came in third.
Hmm. And he had some pretty deep cuts in here and stuff. Like what do you think? What do you think he needs to do to improve his physique?
So from a conditioning standpoint, that's certain. He could definitely get that crisp hardness a bit
Hmm.
more. Like he's in good shape. Don't get me wrong, but you can see there's still more room to where he can get that skin to be tighter to kind of just wrap over that muscle, kind of like Sean has.
Yeah.
So listen, is he lean? He's definitely lean, like for sure. Can he
Yes.
get even harder? Absolutely. If I'm gonna sit here and nitpick, and he does need way more thickness on the backside, at least
Yeah.
compared to if we're gonna compare him to the upper echelon of the open class.
I think he could pose this a little bit better too. I don't like when it looks like, I don't know, maybe they took a picture of him a little bit too low, but I like the elbows a little bit higher and a little bit more like presenting the upper back. But yeah, I think if he fills out some of these lats, it'll really help him out.
Yeah, because from the lower back, it's good detail, but it's
Yeah.
kind of flat. He has those high lats
Hmm.
in that shot, so
Yeah.
fills it out. I think he could be really good. Was there any side shots of him? No, it was only two shots there.
Yeah. I have to go to like maybe this one, but they're not good angles.
No, can't really see.
Like up here, you see a little bit.
and the damn background.
But like in this picture right here, if I don't know how good the audience can see this, but like yes, you see he's like a foot taller than Sean, but how much muscle Sean has on this physique, completely filled out. All the hamstrings are showing, the lats are going all the way down to his freaking waist. You know, like it's a big difference.
And
So
your eyes just get drawn to Sean right away,
yeah,
regardless of the height.
no, yeah, you have to reward, someone completing their physique. They so when you look at Sean, this is why I said before to a friend of mine, I was like, he's one of the best bodybuilders on the earth, right? He's one of the most complete bodybuilders, and like you can't just judge by bone structure.
Yeah, your eyes just get drawn to him right away.
Yeah, and then we have let me see here, Joan right here. What do you think about Joan?
To be honest, I think he has great potential.
Hmm.
He just needs to be harder. Like even look
Yeah.
here, like great shape, good lines, good structure, but again, he has a mixture of being a touch flat here, but that's nitpicking. But he just needs to be harder, and that's where Florian beat him, I believe, because
Hmm.
it almost seems like he's still holding a film of water here, at least from the side and front. And
Hmm.
yeah, like even in the back, you could see um,
I think he's
he
got
needs
room
to
to
be
grow.
harder. Oh, hell yeah, big
Like
time. And
he's definitely got the room on his physique for more back. I think his glutes could get bigger. I think for his age though, like he looks incredible, but like we have to judge it for the show, right?
how old is he
And
again?
I think he's in his early 20s or mid 20s. I think.
Yeah, so he still has that baby. I believe you're right. He still has like that baby skin. So every show he does, he should get better in terms of hardness and that skin getting a bit thinner.
Great
But
stomach.
he has amazing, yeah. But I
I
think he
think,
does have a lot of potential.
and some more. I think so. I'm looking at this as a sculptor, as a fan, however you want to put it, right? So like you add some more size in the arms, like filling out the arms, the forearms. I mean, his biceps are crazy, but master triceps a little more thickness in the back. I think right here, I think he could pose this better too, uh, and show his hamstring better. So growing here, like I don't know, I think he could be a really great bodybuilder. He's got room, that
Yeah,
should excite him.
a lot of room, which is good. He's not far from his peak. But yeah, you make a great point because the upper body is so big in that side shot.
Hmm.
And then there isn't really any ham drop. And another great point you made was the glutes are small.
A little
And
shallow.
that is, yeah, so that is a body part, and it is going to play a factor in how hard the glutes can get, especially compared to those quads. And yeah, with more time and doing things right, I think he's going to be very, very good, given he stays healthy.
Agreed. Like I think his legs look great, but I think they can get even bigger. So he's got a bright future. And I've said this before. When you hear from the judge, hey, you got to add this. Don't get down. Get excited. This is you're already doing so great, so early in your career. You should be excited for the future.
There's in bodybuilding, there's almost very few people you could say are perfect, right? There's
Yeah,
no such thing as perfect. There's always, for the most part, going to be something to improve over time.
yeah. Let me check
I
out
mean,
the
that's
scorecard.
that's that's the point of bodybuilding.
So let me see here for a second there. So we had Stu in seventh, and Hollingshead in eighth. I wasn't expecting that. I will say this: I looked at Stu's pictures. He definitely looked harder. Um, I could pull him up though. What do you think he
Yeah.
could improve on?
So he definitely improved big time from when we saw him earlier in the year in terms of conditioning. Um, I follow his log on Pro Muscle, and he documents a lot of his pictures in there and things in it. So they were really pushing to redeem himself in terms of conditioning because Stu, for the most part, has always had great conditioning. But what I see, well, the first thing that pops out to me is his stomach is starting to get a little wacky in the lower
Hmm.
portion in some of the front shots. Um, he may have something going on with his gut because it's been there all year. So there may be something going on with possible gut dysfunction. There's something going on causing that lower abdomen to kind of stick out in all those front shots. So That would be the first thing I would address personally.
Hmm.
He needs to make sure that there is nothing going on in his gut. That because if there is, it's hindering him everywhere else, right? Conditioning definitely improved. Was this the best Stu we've seen? No, and he knows that too. He says that, but I was just glad to see him kind of, you know,
Yeah,
take things back in terms of the conditioning.
I definitely thought he got way harder. Like he was way harder than he was
Yeah,
at Tampa, in my opinion. Um, then again, once again, I wasn't there. I did see him at Tampa, but so I'm always just happy to see people improve. But yeah, I agree. I think that he's got to do some work to pull in the stomach a little bit more. Happens to the best of us, and
yeah, it
that's actually
happens.
one of the questions I saw someone was asking us about how to grow without losing our stomach. Um, if I get this to go away now, I don't know because I don't normally go on Instagram on the computer.
It's stuck.
There we
There you
go.
go.
But here's another one from his check-in. So definitely lean.
Yeah, definitely for sure. I believe this was before the peak. I think
Yeah.
was that? No, yeah, no, yeah, November 16th. I believe that says so. That was before the peak. Yeah, I mean, and plus two, what I foresee with Stu is now that he's got his conditioning back just about, he's gonna
Hmm.
feel. I know he pushed very hard for this show as well. He hit a low weight that he hasn't had in a while, which is good. He's gonna fill out again, so the arms are gonna fill out, the lats, the legs, the chest.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so I just want to see him get ahead of the stomach before it becomes an issue.
Yeah. I would like to see him add a little bit more size in like the adductors, or just like work on width for his legs to match his upper body a little bit more because he's got a lot of upper body as it is. Um, I'm gonna look up Hollingshead. So it's funny. So I don't log off of Andrea's Instagram, right? I just delete whatever she searched
Yeah,
last, but it's all bodybuilders. She keeps up with it more than I do. Legit. I think
I
this
think
was
that
right
post on
here.
the right. Yeah,
There we go. Something that the fans have to realize, like he's been in shape now for quite some time. Like so that's really tough on the body to just stay in shape week after week after week.
yeah, he's been competing quite a bit this year,
Hmm.
and again, it's he. Don't get me. He looked good. We've seen him better, but there's something that happens with the peaking process for him.
Hmm.
I think, at least, I don't know for sure, right? That throws things off somewhere in the mix. Things do because leading up to this one, he looked pretty damn hard, especially when he
Yeah.
filled out from that last show that he came out of, which, his coach previous to Tuttle just sucked. I mean, I don't know what they did, but he was not his blasting full self, and Tuttle was only able
Yep.
to do so much in a period of time. So he filled out, got hard, but yeah, there's something somewhere that he's just not able to nail that peak. You could see it. I mean, yeah, he's definitely filled out quite a bit from that
Yeah,
last
but
one.
I feel like he lost a little bit of the thickness in his back for sure. In the prep is what it seems like, or in the peaking process. And because like I'm looking at the when I was looking at the pictures of him and Stu looked visibly harder, you know, and I think it was just he just lost a little bit right there, and maybe in the arms a little bit too, because his legs look pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, he looks thick. Again, we've seen him thicker. It's just him nailing the peak.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna remove that. Bring us back. All right. Either way, I wanted to go over Japan because I feel like it's our job to make sure we're going over these shows.
And we're journalists now.
Yeah, right. No, but I mean, we'd probably talk about it anyway, so might as well tell everyone else what
Yeah,
we think.
yeah. No, I agree. I agree. So people like hearing different perspectives on these shows. So
Yeah. Okay, so did you want to hop into some Q&A?
Let's do it. We got some really good questions today.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Pull up what's in our WhatsApp chat. All right. Yeah. So we have some really, really good questions. And we're gonna try to get into, we want to answer them all. And usually, as you guys have seen, me and Chris can, ramble on and go down different rabbit holes. So we're gonna try not to do that. But there was one that I saw on yours that I'd like to start with,
Which one's that?
from Kenneth Lopez. Thoughts on MOTS-c significantly benefiting the heart at 15 milligrams a week?
Yeah. I'll let you take that. I think you know more about MOTS-c than I do, so.
So I think it has amazing, yeah, the hard way, which I'm going to get into,
Yeah.
which I'm still paying the price for. Um, I think it has amazing potential. I have used it with a few clients now for fat burning purposes. Not really looking, I wasn't looking to improve mitochondrial health or anything. It was looking for its fat burning benefits, and it was significant,
Hmm.
especially with one client, Chris. Um, he's a former pro. We didn't use anything more than 12.5 mcgs of T3, 20 mcgs of Clen, which was short for a short period of time. But the MOTS-c noticeably made a big difference. Um, but just to touch, I want to warn everybody, be very weary of when you're using these. I don't know anybody that has used, oh, wait, it says 15 milligrams a week. I thought it meant a day, but still. So I've seen people go up to 5 milligrams. I recommend people stay in between 1 to 2.5 milligrams a day. If you're at 2.5, you're going to be over 15 a week.
Hmm.
But what people aren't realizing is you can have an allergic reaction to this. And I did not know this until I had one. So week and 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, I was taking it sub Q for a while and gave me great energy, felt good. Decided to do intramuscular, which people do as well. And it was 2.5 milligrams. Instantly, my injection site started itching. So I'm like, that's weird. Go in the bathroom, I look at it. By the second, I'm watching this big red rash spread across my quad, like as if the Red Sea. And I'm
Hmm.
watching it just grow and raise and get really hot and itch. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? It's not an infection. Infection doesn't happen that quickly.
Hmm.
So I sit down, I start Googling. I'm like, injection site reaction, MOTS-c. And people have reported going to anaphylactic shock with this.
Hmm.
Vigorous Steve being one of them.
Hmm.
He made a video on it. So I'm kind of freaking out while all this is going on. Took a sertrazine, which is an antihistamine. Wound up going to the urgent care, and the nurse doctor, pretty sure she was a doctor. She was like, she didn't give me the right act. Oh, you shouldn't be doing it. She was, listen, peptides are great. But the thing is, we just don't know. She was, you definitely had allergic reaction to this. So they gave me a Benadryl injection. They wrote me a steroid pack, which I didn't last past 3 days on because I gained like 15 pounds and I felt awful. And it's still lasting to this day. Like every time I eat, I get really swollen. But just to put people, just be a little cautious out there. Um, don't go loading yourself up with this peptide. Start at a very low dose first. But be aware that there are people reporting allergic reactions to this, to the point where some people are going straight to the ER by ambulance from going into anaphylactic shock. So just wanted to touch on that. As far as the benefits for the heart, I can't say for certainty. I mean, they
Yeah.
are talking about it. We don't know, right? These are still research peptides in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. And I think that needs to be added too. So like I did read up a little bit on this. I've never done this with anybody for like heart health purposes. It was only for fat burning purposes. So, um, and yeah, like there's definitely benefit to just like helping your mitochondria, of course. But I've never ventured as far as like, okay, we're doing this for heart health. So, I mean, if you add one thing to the other, yeah, I'm sure it could be good for your heart. I mean, being less fat is good for your heart, so that's a good way to start. And having better mitochondrial function is good for your heart. So, but yeah, I'm not going to come on here and say for sure. But yeah,
No.
15 milligrams is modest dose because I mean, yeah, around 2.5 milligrams per day is pretty standard.
It's gonna
for
put you on
on the
that.
top end.
Yeah.
Also,
What
there's a lot of
question?
people getting a injectable slew that's not injectable slew is really just MOTS-c. So they're thinking that they're taking one amount and they're taking a bunch of MOTS-c. So be careful where you get your shit.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these places are claiming to have everything third party tested, or they're relying on the manufacturer, and the manufacturer could be sending something else. So if you have any doubts with what you're taking, send it to
Yep.
Freedom. What is it? Freedom Testing. You could send it to Janoschick.
Yep.
Just get it tested just to be safe. Remember, at the end of the day, these are just because they're research, just because they're sold on a website and you can buy them, doesn't mean that they can come without a cost.
Okay,
So
100%. And that's shout out to Omega Mina and Chase, because Chase is one of the people who told me about that. Because when he orders stuff, he always tests everything, tests every single batch, and he's like, "Yeah, it's not even real, not even slew." Because his slew tablets are incredible, And I know there's some talk about. I know we're not even talking about slew, but now I'm on the subject. I know there's some talk that the injectable is far, far better than oral because you're only absorbing a small amount orally. However, I can tell you right now that the oral definitely works, but it's very, very hard to find reliable injectable slew.
yeah, especially since his people have no idea how to make it. But it's funny because I started using it because of his website.
Hmm.
And I saw that he posted, no, it's out of stock. What we got originally didn't come back good. It was something, whatever it was.
Hmm.
But yeah, so people, and there are some people saying that the oral is worthless. That is a lie. I've used it with clients with great benefit. I use it for the endurance benefit before Muay Thai or wrestling, whatever. And you want to talk about sweating? It
Hmm.
turns me into a furnace. So it definitely works. And just to touch one more thing on that, you've also been seeing. So Jason Theobald said, "Do not go over 1 gram." He said, "There's no reason. All you're going to be doing is possibly spinning a bit more, um, 1 full milligram,
Hmm.
because they come in micrograms."
Yeah,
There have
I
been
know what you
people
mean.
dosing at 50, 100, 500 milligrams. There have been people that have been sent to the hospital because their heart gets stuck in tachycardia because of that.
Hmm.
So another warning to everybody out there.
Yeah, I saw this. People writing, "Oh, it actually should be measured in grams. You should be taking grams of slew." I'm like, that's pretty crazy to say because we went from like originally it's like okay maybe 250 to 300, then it was like okay maybe 500 a day, and then it's like okay we can get up to like a milligram, maybe 2 milligrams, but then they're like jumping up by 1,000 all the way to a gram. It's pretty wild.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So, what question did you want to hit next?
Oh, check it out, man. I'm not going to get into this, but
Uh-oh.
it just made me laugh because this dude Dominic from Australia was asking me how to build up and smash Army PFTs 120, 130 push-ups in 2 minutes. Because some guy tier one was saying that he could do 130 push-ups in 2 minutes, and that's like the standard. No, it's not. Like I know you probably never did a 2 minute push-up thing, but that's ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do legit Army push-ups over like 102 minutes, and
Well,
I mean
two
real ones.
minutes. That'll.
You just don't have enough
That's,
time.
that's what I'm about to say. There's 60 seconds in a minute. How would
Hmm.
you? That doesn't make any sense. What are you supposed to
Yeah,
hit?
like you're talking about
Two
one a
push-ups.
second.
Two.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
right.
more.
2 push-ups a second. That doesn't make any
Exactly.
sense.
The math isn't mathing.
No.
Um. All right. So this like multiple people kind of asked some similar stuff here. Bro split versus push pull legs, and then frequency for a weak chest. And then the other person asked benefits of high volume bro split is every set till failure or pyramid up or top set. So kind of get into training here for a second. So let's go over the frequency for weak chest or weak body part. I'll let you go first on this, but then I'll answer.
Again, it depends on the person's recovery capabilities. Like I had a very weak chest. It was horrible. Later on, when I finally started using proper mechanics instead of ego lifting and thinking I was branch, and pre-exhausting the chest with pec deck, then going into my movements, my chest got really good. I didn't get to show it on stage, but prior, but I hit it just once a week. when I was doing it. That's all I needed because it would be sore for days after.
Mm-hmm.
So, before hitting more frequency, make sure that you're actually engaging the chest. Make sure that you're actually training it hard enough once a week before adding another day. But what I will say is there are some people that I may have like a touch up chest day later, and maybe after delts, whatever it is, one or two movements just to kind of just put blood in there and help stimulate it a bit. Um, but again, for me, it's like I'd rather somebody go all in on one workout, do it properly, recover, and come back to it next week, or at the or the most, just touch it up, not have two or three full chest days.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this because this is a subject that kind of pisses me off about volume during the week. Um, I'm a big believer in bro split. It works. I'm I won't say push pull legs is bad. If you're just like a regular person, you're trying to be in shape, you're trying to just hit it and everything. But if you're trying to be a good bodybuilder and really grow your muscles, hitting it harder and giving yourself as much rest as possible has always done better for me. Okay. Except for a couple little body parts, maybe calves, arms, delts, things that can recover very fast. If you're hitting your chest as hard as you should be with proper form is a big one, then you're probably not going to be able to train it again for at least 5 days, and I would say a full week would be best. So, and I think that's an issue because a lot of people are saying, oh, yeah, I'm training until failure and everything or whatever. They're not even close to how hard they can train it. And then if you're able to train it 2 days later, you probably didn't hit it hard enough. And just because you're training really hard and getting really tired doesn't mean you're actually hitting your chest very well. Doesn't mean you're actually engaging your pecs if you're just bouncing the bar off your chest, or you're not getting a proper stretch, or like I'm into all of it. I'm not just about stretching. I want to get a good squeeze of my flies. I want to make sure that I'm engaging whatever muscle I'm training. And I think that's something that separates um, different bodybuilders too, is that when I'm in the middle of a workout, if I'm not feeling it, if it doesn't really, really hurt, I'm trying to figure out what I can do to make that exercise harder in the middle of that particular set. I'm trying to make it harder. Like, how can I go deeper? How can I make it squeeze more? How can I make it burn more? I'm not just trying to bang out reps for no reason. Even when people see me in like doing partials, I'm still squeezing the whole time. I'm trying to get the most out of the muscle as possible. And then I'll say this too. On the other end, when people have not the best form, like maybe like Jay Cutler, for instance, okay, he admittedly says he kind of threw weights around. Some people have such good mind and muscle connection that they can be a little sloppy and they still fuck up their muscles so well. And at a certain point, you do get so big that you can't miss it anymore. Like you can still throw around a dumbbell and you hit your biceps perfectly. So back to answering the actual question, if you can train your chest 3 or 4 times a week, you're not training it hard enough. You're not training good enough, and especially for bigger body parts like me and you were talking about legs. There's no fucking way I could hit my legs 3 times in a week. No way.
No.
And if you are doing that, bro, like you need to reassess your leg day because I'm genuinely sore for 5 or 6 days.
And I will say this to add, look at, and again, aside from the people that are genetically blessed, look at the people with big, dense quads.
Hmm.
They have never trained their legs 2 to 3 times, quads 2 to 3 times. It was usually always once a week,
Yeah.
always.
So I'll say I am going to agree though. If you have one big workout for that body part and you want to throw in a little touch up, like let's say on deltoids or something like that, you want to throw in some pec flies just
Mm.
to get a good, just kind of light it up again. Just kind of like it's like the coals are going, you want to just kind of poke it a little bit, make those embers go a little bit, catch the flame again. That's cool. I think that's fine. I think it's especially for like calves. I could probably train 3 times a week. Arms, I could probably train 2, maybe 3 times a week. You know, and sometimes it changes because now as I've gotten bigger, things take longer to recover too. So
And you're
once again,
more
it depends.
experienced.
Yeah.
Justin Compton had this calf protocol. I hope I'm not butchering it. You train it 5 days in a row,
Mhm.
absolutely crush it, take 2 days off, and keep repeating it, which is he told me about this years ago, and I did it with it, but it actually worked pretty damn well for some people. But you're not going to do that with chest or back or anything of the sort. So
And I'm going to go back and say this too. When this new age of uh, like the RP style, where you're adding more and more volume. So the idea is that these people are never truly training till failure, is what it seems like. They're training like maybe a couple reps in reserve. They're keeping some in the tank. So they're never really taxing that muscle all the way so they can do it more times in a week. I don't see the point of that. It's a newer way of training. I don't really like it. Um, forgot what I was going to add to that too. And also the way people are using the apps. So if you're one of these people using like the RP app or one of these apps, I don't know if you ever delve into it, but if you lie to the app and say, "Oh yeah, that was easy," it's going to keep giving you fucking more volume. It's just an algorithm, or it's just a computer, so it doesn't know how you actually feel. So if you say, "Oh, that was only 5 out of 10 hard," it's going to add a whole nother leg day for you. It's going to add more and more sets and more. So like, yeah, more volume is better, but if you're just doing it all week, there's no way you can actually do the rest of the workouts in the week to failure or close to failure if you're training as hard as you say you or as you should.
And let's be, even if we're going to talk about failure, a lot of people don't realize what failure is. I don't see the point of training something throughout the week when you can just hit it really hard in one day and recover.
Exactly. Recovery is when you grow.
I don't get that. So, but
And
listen, some people like it. That's fine. But I look at the people who have had successful body parts. We don't really need to overcome. So I'm not. That's not really overcomplicating it. I shouldn't say that. But I personally just don't see the need for that.
no, I'll talk. So we have to bring body parts up right now. I'll tell people like what I've been doing. So my chest is not my strongest body part. I don't train twice a week. I was doing 4 workouts a week, but on the day 6 it starts day 1 again. So it was just a rotating 4-day schedule. 2 days on, 1 day off. 2 days on, 1 day off, and just repeat. Kind of like the old Dorian thing, a little bit different split, but I still really only hit it that one time. Delts, I have one big deltoid, one big delt day. Yeah, one big delt. Uh, and then I'll throw in like maybe some lateral raises on my chest day too, just to feel it. And that's pretty much it. And they've grown quite a bit.
No, they have. They
And
definitely
we're
have.
not doing anything crazy. We're really not.
No,
So
no, it's been working.
on just because we already like on that, we're going to the next subject. The guy asked me, benefits of high volume bro split is every set till failure or pyramid up to top set. So it just depends again. Like when I'm training till failure, like failure to me doesn't always mean like I'm training till I can't get the bar off my chest at all. Like, cause I'm not getting hurt. If I can't press it up and if I don't have a workout partner, like that's my last set. That's my last rep.
Hmm.
Or it's like if I go down again, I won't come back up. Like I'm at failure, even though I'm not
Right.
just bouncing off my chest. So I still train till failure. If I'm doing a build up set, like I've talked about this before, I don't just like throw on 405 and start. Those build up sets of 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate. I'm not training till failure. I'm just doing a few reps, get it going. Then once I start my working sets, those are always until failure. That's how I train.
I was the same way. For the most part, I was the same way. I mean, with Oscar, at one point it was just failure, and it was until you couldn't do more. Okay, let's do another
Yeah.
one. I'm a bit crazy, but I definitely recommend somebody pyramid up to that top set, and then that'll be your working set to failure. Because if you're going to true failure every set, you're taking away from that last set. You're not going to be
Yeah.
as strong as you could possibly be, which is
100%.
not good. Um, so high volume is great, but you don't have to go to failure every set. So pyramid up and weight, get your brain accustomed to the patterns in that movement that you're doing, and then that last set will be your all-out set. And then
Hmm.
from there, if you want to end it there or add an intensifier, drop sets or partials or whatever, do it from
Hmm.
there. But use the previous sets to kind of program your body to kind of feel the set, get your joints used to
Hmm.
going up in weight, and plus two, you're putting yourself at less risk of injury too.
Yep.
I
Yep.
mean, if you're doing every set to failure in a workout, which is you can't see most people being able to do anyway, you're going to be at a high risk of injury doing that.
Yeah.
And the recovery is you can't go to set failure every single set. I mean, if you have 16 sets in a workout, imagine doing 16
Yeah.
sets to failure. So
I'm not gonna lie,
definitely,
I still have days like I still have days
yeah,
like legs I still go a little crazy on sometimes, but it's like things like leg extensions where it's not dangerous. Worst cases I
no,
can't move it, whatever. But I
right.
do some partials in, you know.
It's not like you're squatting like that, even though you probably have done that too. But yeah, definitely pyramid, always pyramid up for sure.
And so on that, so yeah, pick the exercise that you can go to failure, like true failure on. Like you can truly go to failure on like hamstring curls, on leg extensions. Uh, probably don't want to do it on a leg press where you're going to drop the weight on your body.
Yeah.
Probably don't want to do it on a regular squat. But if you have like a pendulum and there's like a bottom there, yeah, just drop down to the bottom. You're fine. Like it's safer to go to true failure on that. And I'll say this too. So I've seen a lot of people do like 4 sets of 10, 5 sets of 10. If you can do the same amount of reps every single set, you're probably not training hard enough. So that's bullshit. But I will say this: if your program or whatever you had in your mind and you did 3 sets and it feels really freaking good and you're really pumped up, you're like, oh man, like, can I do more sets? Like, yeah, just do it. There's no
Keep
rules.
going.
Yeah, just do it.
Keep going. If it feels good, like there was one time, well, me and Stephanie, we don't train together often. She usually does her own thing in the gym. And if I'm
Mhm.
even weight training that day, and I remember, I think it was like, it was a side, there was a new tech. Was it a new, it was a new tech side ladder. She goes, oh, I did something else. I'm like, no, there's no reason. Well, then again, too, my shoulders, I can only do so much.
Yeah,
But I'm like, it feels good. Let's just keep going. Like that's how Flex was when him and I were training together for our comebacks. It was like we felt good. Something before you knew it, we both had like 8 sets in on the side lateral machine.
yeah.
It felt good. So there was no reason to stop. We were crazy pumped. We felt good. There was no stress in the joints. If it feels good, you keep going.
So on that note, this isn't a question, but does the pump matter or not?
Yes, for the
100%,
most
right?
part. Yeah, for the most. Because think about it. If we're not going to go into the science of it all,
Yeah,
but if you're going to the gym and listen, there are points in your prep where you're not going to get pumped. That comes with low food,
yeah.
whatever. But if you're engorging the muscle with blood and nutrients,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Why would it
why
not
wouldn't
matter?
it matter? Why?
Yeah.
And plus, two, why wouldn't you want to pump?
Yeah, right. It's like a boner for your whole body. It's awesome. It's
Pretty
like,
much, yeah.
and I've said this before, as dorky as this always sounds, Andrew gets mad at me. Hypertrophy. Hyper is a lot. Trophy means nourishment. A lot of nourishment. So you're feeling a lot of nourishment in that muscle. It's probably a good thing.
I
So
like that. And plus, two, Oscar used to have this. I know I mentioned him a lot. He just taught me so much about training back
yeah,
then. But he
that's where it
had
came
this thing.
from.
He was like, if your muscle could get pumped to that size,
Mm.
there's no reason why one day it can't be fully grown to that size. And he had a point. And he
Yeah.
was right because over time, that pump that I was getting became my permanent at the time size, not
Yeah.
anymore size. So yeah, pumps definitely. I- If you're not getting pumped, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Either you're training, or you're insulin resistant, or you're not eating enough, or you're not
Mhm.
hydrated enough, or you didn't sleep enough. And if any of those are off, how do you? Okay, side to how do you expect to grow?
Exactly.
So your pump is a good indicator of a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we hit the nail on the head with all that shit. Um, okay. You go with your next question, bro.
Let's see. All right, so this person asked for a physique critique. Another person also messaged me asking me if we're going to do physique critiques at some point. We're not going to do it this show, but at some point, I guess we could once in a
If
while.
you if you send it to the Instagram, then I could pull it up on here. We could look at it, the picture.
Cool.
So
Yeah, so we will start doing physique critiques, I guess.
sure. I don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it'll be cool. So yes, this is the second person in the last week that
We'll
that
just be
has
really
asked. We'll
mean.
do it. Oh, listen, so that's another thing. So
Yeah.
if you're coming for critique, we are going to pick you apart in the best way possible. We're not going to sit here and say you look great. Keep unless you really do look great. Keep doing what you're doing. We're going to give you our God's honest, brutal truth in what, in
Yeah.
our opinion, that you can improve on, and we hope it can help you. So
If you
we're
get your
definitely going
feelings
to
hurt,
start doing it.
bodybuilding's not for you.
Yeah,
Like we just critiqued freaking a few professional bodybuilders, like, and
yeah.
they look fantastic, but that's our job is to critique, just like judges do.
It's always something to improve on. Brandon PA7, what drives you as a coach and makes you think? What drives you as a coach and makes you tick every day to continue giving your all to your clients?
I got a good answer for this.
Yeah, you could start. I'll go after.
Yeah. So there's definitely a few things, but something Andrea brought up to me yesterday because she was seeing a post by one of my clients, and he's a newer client of mine. He came from somebody else to work with me, and he did like a post without giving away any like secrets or whatever. I mean, I'm pretty open book, but he kind of broke down what okay, he's taking more of like this vitamin, more of that vitamin, and he kind of broke down the reason why he's doing it because sometimes I'll do that with people. I'll break down like, hey, this is what we're gonna do because this is the first goal that we have right now. We have to, let's say, fix your liver health, fix your kidney health. We're gonna move on from there. Then we're gonna grow. So like he really bought in. So when I see someone who really buys into it and they genuinely are loving the process and they're enjoying the process and for a fact they're going to get results, that's pretty, I really really like that. um but then obviously it feels awesome to see people loving the thing that you also love and that you have passion for. It's one thing to see people win and get great transformations, but when you see someone like genuinely happy, not just with you but like genuinely happy with themselves, that's pretty awesome. So I really like that, whether they're a competitor or just a lifestyle person. That really gets me going.
Yeah, those are all great reasons. I mean, for me, there's a few reasons. Um, yeah, sure, winning is great and all, like you said, but to be able to impact somebody, there's a difference between influence and impact.
Mhm.
And I think we as humans can make a it's greater to make an impact in somebody than influence them. And when you're coaching somebody, as you just said, I don't care if somebody is a pro, an amateur, or a non-competitor. At one point I did, which was very egotistical and selfish years ago. I think it just comes with more maturity and seeing things go on in the industry and auditing ourselves every once in a while, trying to get better. But somebody is coming to you to pay you their hard-earned money. They
Yeah.
don't want and listen, if they're taking it serious, like you said, they don't want their time wasted. They don't want their money wasted. They don't want their health wasted. It is a privilege for somebody to say, hey, I trust you with giving you my money and for you to lead me in my health and my goals on stage or off stage. You must be a pretty fucked up individual to take advantage of that. And ba- you could like there are a lot of people who are basically scarred from bad coaches. They run into trust issues, they get burnt out, and maybe their goals go out the window. And you know what? I can't blame them, especially if they gave it their all and they felt like, oh, this person just doesn't care about me. It's a privilege for somebody to come to us and say, hey, I trust you, lead the way.
Hmm.
And we as coaches and men have to lead the way for them. So being able to have that, it feels awesome. And it does bring me a lot of gratitude and fulfillment to see these, like you said, see these people happy, reach their goals. And listen, if they stay with you forever, great. If not, whatever, as long as there was some sort of impact made, if they were following everything 100%. Now, I have a
Yeah.
problem when somebody comes half ass. Then I start to not care. I may give them one or two chances, but when I start to see that they're bullshitting, don't waste, I wouldn't waste your time. Don't waste my time.
Yeah.
And also, too, like I've had my experiences with some coaches where they weren't so good, and I wouldn't want somebody to feel the way I felt. And, we see with some of these coaches, if that's what they call them, so treat people, and it's just not the way to treat them. So again, you can't get your time back. You don't want to ruin somebody's health. You don't want to waste their money. So this is a job, and you have to go all in on them. And either it's not really all about the end result either, like you just spoke about. It's about what they've been able to accomplish during the process and be able to see. So it does make me genuinely happy to see people in all walks of life. Um, just succeed, either be
Yeah.
on stage or off stage or with their health. So,
Yeah. I mean, like, I get more nervous when my clients are stepping on stage than when I do, or like just excited. Like for me, I don't know. Like it's like business as usual, I guess. And
yeah.
I'm kind of like just following the thing, going along. But like I'm watching everything. Like I'm making sure everything's okay, make sure they're okay. I'm seeing how they respond and how mentally, physically, and I'm asking all these questions, and it's like they're probably thinking of me like my dad or something. asking all these questions like, "Hey, are you feeling okay? How's your stomach? How's did you shit today?" And all this stuff. And they're like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Like they don't get how invested I really am. That I want them to, yeah, I want them to win, but I also want them to have the best possible experience that day on stage. And it is tough, because when I have clients on the East Coast waking up, especially the females wake up at like 3 in the morning to go do their makeup and shit. That means that's 11 p.m. for me in Alaska. So like I'm up the entire night. I might sleep for 30 minutes, wake up, make sure they're okay, like whatever. It's a lot, and both me and Andrea both get really excited for that shit. So it's
Yeah, I
a lot
mean,
of fun.
and of course, you get more nervous. You, as a coach, like I tell people, you take on their stress, you
Yeah.
take on all that for them. Except for when somebody like you're in the moment, you're doing it, you're in the action.
Hmm.
And plus, I know how you tick, so I'm probably talking for you.
Sure.
You just execute. You don't think, you just execute. Not everybody's like that, but then when you're controlling what somebody's doing and
Yeah.
trying to control the out, it's like, okay, there's more things to worry about versus, because you're not in full control with somebody else. You got
No.
to hope that they follow everything. You got to hope that everything goes to plan. As opposed to with you, it's like, all right, I'm just going to follow what I'm told and just do it and do it to the
Why?
best of my ability.
I never got that. Like, why not? Like, it's already there. Like, don't think anymore. Just do the shit right here.
It
You know?
doesn't make sense to me. And again, not to put myself on a pedestal, but whenever I paid somebody to coach me back then, I didn't even take Advil in a prep without asking. I
Hmm.
didn't take pre-workouts if it wasn't on my sheet. I didn't do it. I didn't want to waste my money. I didn't want to waste their time, and I just wanted to do the best that I could. So, you know,
It's funny. Someone recently, it's actually been more than one person. They said, "I really want to have whatever you and Dom have." I'm like, I can't force it. Like we've been working together. It's gonna be like 8 years now. Like
it
nothing was
is,
forced
yeah,
at
it
all.
is. Yeah.
Like it was just I was just another client, and you're my coach, and that was it. And then shit happened. Like it ended up working out. It doesn't always happen that way. You
No.
cannot force that. So and
And
and I want
listen,
to say this too. When you're texting me, you're coach. You're not Dom. And so if anybody's listening, like yeah, we're friends. But like even in this part of the text thread, we stop and then it's like plan, okay, roger that, and then move on. Then we can be friends again. But like that moment, it's coach and client, and you have to be able to differentiate that. And I always give you respect, and you give me respect back as a client, and then we can go back to the relationship later. It
and
has to
that's
be
the
like that.
thing. We both know how to take the coach and friend hat off and interchange them with each
Hmm.
other. Some people don't know how to do that.
Hmm.
It's just, I don't want to call it a flaw. It's just not something everybody can do. Like,
Yeah.
so we can easily put that different hat on when the time calls for it, and then when other take it off, but it doesn't change anything. So
Yeah, there's no emotion there at all. I never took any kind of emotion for, hey man, we whatever, we got to push harder, we got to pull back, whatever it was, got to add
yeah,
muscle here. Like there's no emotion there. That's it.
no,
It's just business. And I think definitely the army helps with that too because you can be buddies, but like if you're hanging out with that guy who's two ranks above you when you're at work, it's you address them at parade rest, sergeant, whatever, sir, whatever, so and then you could be friends again when you get off work, But I don't know. So I think we crushed that question.
yeah, as usual.
Um, all right, off subject, nothing educational here. All right, favorite bodybuilder of all time, not greatest, but your favorite.
Dorian Yates, Dorian Yates. I loved his work ethic. He never had any sob stories.
Hmm.
He would just train, compete, go back into the shadows, hence the name Shadows. He was a freak, but I loved his work ethic. And that is the definition of hardcore old school bodybuilding, which is Dorian Yates. And he was a man's man.
Yeah,
There was
I
no
agree.
fate. That was him. That was him. So
Yeah, I agree. I always really loved watching Kevin Levrone. That was a big influence on me. Also being the fact that I don't know, I just really liked his physique. I liked how hard he worked and everything. I know he took a lot of time off at the same time, but always loved the way he trained just like all out, benching 500 pounds a week out. I was like, this
yeah,
guy's a fucking crazy man. But you know who else I really admired? Um, I always really liked Evan Senapani because he was so intelligent and also jacked and a man's man, had a real job the whole time, didn't really talk about it, but like he did all the things, you know, and it seemed like he was very balanced with everything throughout his career until he got hurt, you know?
He was. He's a gentleman. I've
Yeah,
known Evan for
exactly.
a
That's a
long
good word.
time. He is the epitome of a gentleman. Super respectful, very honorable. I've
Hmm.
always had the utmost respect for Evan, and
Yeah,
I still do.
yeah. What do you got, man?
All right. Juan SB. Keep food high in health phase and keep trying to make progress. I'm very lean still.
Say that again. Can you say
So
that again?
he says, keep food high in health phase and keep trying to make progress, question mark. I'm very lean still. So when you're in a health phase, you should be keeping your food as high as you possibly can, as long as you're lean. If you're too
Yeah.
fat, that's another problem. But food is the most anabolic thing you're going to put in your body. Without the food, the drugs aren't going to do a damn thing. Without the
Yep.
food, the training is not going to do a damn thing. The food is going to fuel everything. So it's imperative that you feed your body during that phase to maintain what you have during your health phase. Now, will you lose some volume to the muscle? Most likely. Your drugs aren't as high. The super compensation isn't there of glycogen, hydration, whatever, all that. So yeah, so definitely keep the food high because you still want your recovery to be high. It is a very bad move in your health phase to lower the food. Now, the only time I will lower it is if I'm trying to clean up body fat for them and make them
Hmm.
more insulin sensitive to go into the next growth phase. But
Yeah.
if you're lean, like you're saying you're lean, and I've seen his photos before, we've chatted a bit. You're still very lean, so you have to make sure that you're feeding during that phase.
Yeah.
But wait, just another point.
Sure. Sure.
Just as long as your gut health is okay, because if you are feeding constantly at such a high rate year round, year after year, you risk running into issues, SIBO, gut issue, whatever. So that's another thing to keep in mind too. As long as your gut is healthy,
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, and I think that this needs to be said. If you're in a health phase, it's a health phase. Like you think there's health. If that means you're coming off your cycle or you're in TRT, whatever that means to you and your coach, it doesn't mean you're going eating fucking burgers all the time and eating shit. That's not a health phase. You know, you're only messing with your insulin sensitivity, like we just talked about, and keeping food high doesn't mean just keep calories high. You're keeping
yeah,
your protein up, keeping your carbs in a good spot, because just because you're coming off of the sauce doesn't mean that you can't still make amazing gains and everything, or doesn't mean you can't make progress, or at least keep it. I think way too many people, as soon as they stop jabbing themselves, they just completely unlock and they start doing this, they drink and everything, which, whatever.
don't do that.
Yeah. I mean, how much progress did we make on TRT, bro? Majority of the weight I gained is on TRT.
Yep. And you just kept, you were healthy. We were just worried about keeping you healthy. And that's the thing too. If you're truly healthy and on TRT, your body's going to be responsive.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, people won't believe this, but there are guys that I've seen come from cycle, go into their true TRT and start progressing because their body is working so much more efficiently without all the toxins from the drugs that they start progressing more.
Hmm.
Um, so people can't be afraid to go into these health phase. Like there's this argument going on that pros stay on year round at high doses. The ones that there are some that do that, yeah, but I can guarantee you the smart ones are pulling back at times for a
Just
fact.
why? Like, you don't need to.
Yeah.
You don't
No,
need to do that. And
no.
what was I going to say? Okay, so on that, because there's always the camps on this. Um, there's the camp saying that no, lowering your test levels or coming off it won't help you raise your androgen sensitivity as much as just adding more. What do you think about that?
Well, I will speak from experience. Just adding more is not, no, you need to pull back because what happens over time? Your baseline of TRT is going to need to be higher. There's a reason why people say, oh, I don't really respond to this. Yeah, because you've been burning it out for the longest amount of time. So of course your body is not going to be, oh, I'm going to feel good on 150 milligrams when you've been blasting it the entire time. The
Hmm.
science of androgen receptors may say something else, but I'm going to speak to my experience with myself and with clients. Why do you want to constantly have to drive the dose up just so you get some sort of
Wild.
response? And it's what comes with that, health issues. Why would you not want to stay on get the most out of less? Do they have to be higher at some points? Absolutely, with most people. But you do need to take a break. And for those that say, oh, you're going to lose when you come down, and when you go back on, you're just going to gain that back. If that's what happens, bodybuilding is not for you. Because yeah, will you lose a little volume to the muscle? Sure. May some people lose some muscle tissue? Maybe, but they're going to gain it back like that and then some. So yeah, you will gain it back, but then you're going to put even more on top of that, as opposed
Yep.
to constantly just driving this dose up and hoping that you're responding. That doesn't, why you don't need to do that. I'm telling you right now, you don't need to do that. I know for a fact top guys have taken breaks for a reason, and that's why they constantly improve from there.
Hence, me last year. Like, we took a break for my hernia surgery. We took like 6 weeks off of everything. And if you don't think that I put muscle on, that's fucking crazy because it was like immediate. As soon as we reintroduced me to the weights and everything and got my test levels back up and everything, I was like this. I gained size.
Yeah. Look at the, and you went from, look at you looked like after your surgery to winning the USAs.
I'll pull up a picture if people want to see it. I'll
Yeah,
find it on
show
here.
them, because you remember what I told you. I said this break is going to do you well, and it
Yes.
did. It did you so well. When I knew when you got back on and we got the ball rolling, it was going to be the best response you've had since you started bodybuilding again. Yep.
There you go. This was also before thyroid replacement therapy.
The left was February.
Yeah, I think, or January.
Yeah, end
I'm
of
not even reading
January,
it.
early February. Yeah, I knew that break from training. I knew the break from the drugs was going to do you so well. I knew it. That's
We
why I had
immediately,
zero doubt.
we immediately, like, as soon as we started going again, I was back up to like above 270 pounds and getting leaner, So, yeah,
Quick. And then we
take
had to
time
make
off.
weight. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's funny. People would look at that picture. Oh, but if you didn't come off, you would have been even better.
No, I
You
wouldn't.
you won you
No.
won the USA's and arguably won the overall. So no, no. If you kept pounding yourself, your body was going to hit a wall at some point, and then we would have to try to fix something, and then it extends it even longer. So proof is in the pudding right there. We're not
Yeah.
talking out of our ass here. So
Yeah. And I remember telling you, I was like, dude, what the fuck is going on? This is crazy. Like, I'm
I
kind of saying that
remember.
again right now. I don't know. I don't even know what's going on right now. This is wild. So,
I remember
uh,
that. Remember that clear as day.
okay.
Let's see. Pull it up.
Let me go here. What is the hardest part? This is, Connor Williams asks, what is the hardest part of bodybuilding for you, or was?
I mean, I don't. Again, I don't want this to sound conceited or egotistical. It's all pretty easy for me. I think
Yeah.
because I started so young, and I had guidance pretty damn close to when I first started bodybuilding. But I also immersed myself when I was like, okay, I'm not going to play football anymore. I'm going to bodybuild. I was already on the forums, bodybuilding.com forums. I was watching YouTubes. I was seeing how pros were conducting themselves, and I immersed myself in it right away. The first thing I ever did before even decided I was going to compete, I went on a keto diet. I was eating this disgusting boiled chicken in the bathroom at school with eggs or peanut butter. So when I was competing, none of it for me, it was like I enjoyed every part of it. I enjoyed the posing. I really enjoyed the training. The dieting, I love getting ready for shows. Off season, I loved off season.
Yeah.
Eating for me was never an issue. I was always a big eater. Dieting, enjoyed being hungry because for me it was like, okay, I know I'm going to get shredded. I want to win, and at no point was I ever like, this is hard.
Yeah.
But that's just me. That's just how I was. I truly enjoyed every bit of it when I did it. There was never a point like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I wanted to win. I wanted to be my best. I had a vision for myself. So again, I know this sounds weird to say this, but I truly, every single part of it, I loved bodybuilding. I wanted, at 15 years old, when I first discovered bodybuilding, said I wanted to be a professional bodybuilder, and I did that.
Same.
So it's what I wanted to do, and I none of it was ever really a struggle. I when I got tired in prep, I loved that. I was like, man, I'm going to be in great shape.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yeah.
was, I thrived in that. I'm like, I don't want to feel good. I want to push to the point where I feel tired and I feel hungry. Cheating on a
I
diet
love.
was never an option.
No, I love the suffering. I think it's fucking awesome. If I'm not, I'm kind of like, this is okay. But or I'll change the question because I'm gonna answer it differently. What was the most annoying part of bodybuilding for you, or like uncomfortable part? Because I'm going to answer the same way that you did, where nothing's really that hard. And I once again, like you said, I don't want to sound like a dick, but it's just not that hard. I mean, I love eating all my food. I'm a big eater. I could eat chicken rice over and over and over again. Literally, Andrea gags watching me eat the same food. I'm like, you already know how to eat it. I like it. Um, so the food's not a problem. The suffering's not a problem. I don't care. Cardio's not a problem. We got YouTube nowadays. Come on, it's ridiculous. We watch Netflix on the freaking Stairmaster. Um, Training, that's fucking great. But what is the most uncomfortable or annoying part?
The most annoying part was never thinking I was good enough. And I was self conscious because I wanted to be so good. I always looked at myself and I never thought, I didn't take pictures of myself. I didn't want to see
Yeah,
myself. I just wanted to go on stage. And I think back how silly that was because I looked so good so many times and I should have taken advantage of taking pictures and showed it off more,
yeah,
But I think that was the biggest part was never thinking I was good enough because it does affect you mentally in some way, I feel. And it doesn't take, I can't say it takes the fun out of it because the beauty of bodybuilding is always pushing to get better because you're never good enough in some way, right? Until the judges say it, and then you got to get even better. So I think for me, that's actually a great spin you put on the question. That's thinking back, that's what it was for me is never thinking I was good enough. That was annoying, instead of
yeah,
being in the moment. And but then again too, maybe it worked in my favor and why I had success young. Maybe if I got content or said, hey, I look pretty damn good, maybe I wouldn't have applied myself as much.
yeah. I think nowadays I definitely realize I wouldn't say like there's no content for sure, but now I realize in the moment a little bit more like I look pretty fucking good right now. Like in other words, like I appreciate it a little bit more, especially after getting small, getting hurt, having things almost taken away, like all that shit definitely puts things into perspective. You start smelling the rose a little bit more. So I'm really, really happy that this last prep, I really enjoyed the process more. I took more pictures, I took more videos. Like I used to never wear a tank top ever. I started wearing tank tops a little bit more. And like, yeah, this is pretty cool. Like it could be taken away at any time. So let's really enjoy it.
I'm glad you say that too, because it's funny. After I stopped bodybuilding, I looked pretty damn good for a while, and I wasn't even trying, as you know. And I was wearing tank tops more and sleeveless shirts. I really liked how I looked. And I look back at the picture, I'm like, damn, I did. I started wearing like the short shorts, not like tight ones, but
Yeah,
and
but
my
you
legs were
still train your legs.
my legs were massive. And then I started doing jujitsu and stuff, so that gave me a reason to wear the gay looking shorts. But then now I look at myself and I don't look all that good now, at least compared to back then. So I do like the fact you say, you appreciate it more in the moment because I wish I did that when I was, competing and going through the process. I,
Yeah.
I
It's
wish
like
I do wish I did, but maybe it did help me in a way.
I don't know if you ever listen to like comedy, like Bill Burr. He talks about like when you're a kid, like everything's awesome. Why would a dog even be awesome? Everything's free. Nowadays, like you're like, holy shit, I love this freaking dog. It's always happy to see me. But like, yeah, everything's awesome when you're a kid. You're like, you already look good. You're lean. You're just getting bigger. It's cool, but you want more. Now I'm like, all right. Feels a lot better to look good at 30 something than it did at, 18. But
Yeah,
I'll get into what is my, like I said, not the hardest thing, but the most uncomfortable right now. So, granted, it's not that bad, but a little harder to put my shoes on right now. My clothes don't fit right. My shorts that were baggy are all like skin tight on my legs. I can't fit my ass in any of my pants or anything. I get like not anxiety, but like I can't get everything off me fast enough. I got to wear loose clothes. I'm like, oh my god, I can't wear skin tight shit. I'll put on a shirt that used to be loose and it's like skin tight on my arms and my chest. I'm like, oh my god,
it's funny.
like wearing a jacket.
I wear tight clothes now.
Yeah, like
Go
I
figure.
can't.
I'm smaller than ever. But you know what you need? You need to be like the kids say, wear your pump covers. You need to wear 5XL pump covers.
A 3X on me is tight. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, fuck. Like if I don't wear like gas pants, I'm like, oh my god, like get these off me because I get so uncomfortable. And like I'm just hot.
I don't miss that.
Yeah,
I have
you
to
know what I'm
say I
talking
don't
about.
miss that. Oh yeah, I don't miss that. It is
Yeah,
nice to be able to wear regular clothes.
and like it's different too because like I got this little niggle in my back going on. Like I got some kind of knot. Right, it's going away finally. But now the other side hurts a little bit. So like it's already a little bit harder to breathe than normally. Get winded a little fast. Like I'm home on the stairs. I'm normally chilling on like a level 7 or whatever, just on my phone, whatever. And now I'm like, all right, here we go. So Andrew's laughing, just like I could just hear you breathing. My CPAP.
That
I just got a new CPAP face mask too.
oh
It's
you
in the it's in
did
the mail.
good.
It's in the mail. Because
That
the other
okay.
one,
That you're making all good points.
yeah,
I can't
that's the
really
most annoying
say
part.
I can't say being almost 300 pounds when I was fun. That was
Yeah,
horrific. Actually,
I'm
that was pretty
legitimately
horrible.
midday. I'm 285 right now at 5'8". It's not
No,
normal,
I even if I could, I don't think I could do that now.
and I'm not
No,
fat. That's why like I can only imagine how bad people feel who are like actually obese and fat. I'm like, dude, how do you live like that?
that's
Like
the norm.
I have abs and I feel like shit. Like not like shit, but not great.
That's the norm. You know, yeah, that wasn't fun. The sleep apnea, not being able to walk up steps without being out of breath, not being able to run, not being able
Yeah,
to really tie. I couldn't tie my own shoes for a while, but I was also very inflamed at that point. Very inflamed at that
yeah.
point.
Putting my shoes on or like clipping my toenails, dude. Holy shit, fuck that.
Yeah, no,
I'm like,
I I, I
but
like being able to move now.
I will say, like, having this ability to do more recovery things, like I'm stretching more, I'm foam rolling like every day. Like I'm spending that time to stretch and stay as mobile as possible. So doing all that stuff is definitely helping, but like it's tough. And this is the thing, this is the part right here that people don't want to do. Everyone wants to get shredded. Everyone wants to bulk for a few weeks and they're like, all right, I'm kind of tired of eating the food. Like, no, it's like it's for a long time, constantly eating until this is my new norm. Because it does go away. You just got to give it a chance. You know? Like we're not pounding a crazy amount of like we're eating a lot of food, but it's not like junk
No,
calories and all that shit. But eventually, this will be my new comfort zone. Because I remember 200 pounds was hard. Then it was like 220 was hard. And then 250 was. I'm like, oh my god. And then now, like if I was 250 right now, I feel like I can run a marathon.
no, you
So
would because you
yeah,
have.
yeah. So that's the hardest part for me is being very very heavy.
Fair enough.
What else you got, brother?
That was some good spins you put in that one.
Yeah.
Go back to the WhatsApp. All right, try to get a couple more of these, and I know we're past an hour now. Um, this is a quick one.
Okay.
What's Cole M7? What's the most unique thing you guys did during a prep to curve hunger? So for me, I didn't really do anything. We didn't have Retatrutide back then.
Yeah.
I didn't drink more water than I should have because I always drank 2 gallons a day at that point. I was still hungry. I didn't eat more vegetables than I should have. So for me, it was again, I enjoy at the time I enjoyed it. So it was like I knew I was going to be hungry. I knew I was going to be tired. So we didn't have the little hacks that we have today. We also didn't have bowl of gains by Flavor Gang cream of rice back
No.
then. We didn't have diet hack sauces. We didn't have any of that.
Oh,
I
come on, you had
used
yellow
hun-
mustard.
I used mustard. I used there was a certain mustard I used. I forgot the name of it. but I used mustard. That was really it. Though even you back then, we didn't. You, I'm talking about me. We were in the same era back then,
Bro, I
so
didn't
there
know about
really
mustard.
wasn't anything.
I didn't know I could have that. Dude, all I was having was plain oats. I had rice sometimes when I had it. It was like boiled chicken and fucking broccoli. And I was like, and then one day
Disgusting.
Jason had a jug of yellow mustard from like Costco, and he started throwing it on my food because I was gagging. I was eating, I was, "Ugh," and I was eating my food because I was just so tired of broccoli. And he's like, "Why don't you put anything on it?" I'm like, "I can have stuff on it." And he's like, "Yeah, dude." I'm like, "Oh," so they put yellow mustard, and I was like, "I thought that was amazing." And then he's like, "You can have crystal hot sauce." I'm like, "Oh, so this is gonna
Oh
be
yeah,
so easy now."
did you like Crystal Light?
Yeah, I'd have Crystal Light, and then Mio came out.
Yes, I love Crystal Light. The iced tea flavor was always my go-to. That
Like the
helps. I
lemonade.
mean, yeah, I guess that could help. The
It
Crystal
doesn't really
Light,
help with hunger. My thing was
but
seltzer water. I'll drink the what's the Italian seltzer?
Pellegrino.
Yeah, I would have Pellegrino once in a while. That's what Jason
See,
said I could have.
I didn't do that. I wasn't told. Like I was told no diet sodas, so I didn't do that.
Yeah, he said because there's no sweetener because back then we all thought sweetener was going to give us cancer and kill us.
Yeah, now it's in everything. Maybe you know what? Maybe they're onto something here. The more sweeteners that are putting in things, gut issues. I don't know. You don't think it comes at a cost in some way?
I think at a certain point, you know how I feel. Like I think even if like I remember reaching out to different bodybuilders and like, hey, you still using Bola Gains at close? You still using sauce close? They're like, yeah, I still use it. And like I am a big supporter of it. Obviously, I post stuff about the sauces and the bowling all the time, but I still like going back to the basics for the last 2 to 4 weeks. I start tapering it
Yeah,
down quite a bit, and because no matter what, as soon as I get closer, I can't even really eat vegetables. You remember when I get close, I
yeah,
do not like feeling bloated. I'd rather feel starving. So there's your answer. If I feel starving, I feel good. I got a good vacuum.
yeah.
If I don't, I
I
love
remember.
that. I,
Feel
I I'll
tight.
fucking I'll fast for 15 hours. I shouldn't, but I'm just saying like I would. I don't really give a shit. I'd rather be starving and have a sick vacuum.
Feel tight. You feel like
Yeah,
things are
I love it.
processing. You're not jammed up. Yeah.
Yep. I don't like feeling too full on my diet. So that was actually a new thing this year with the Retta actually feeling like I was satiated. I was like, I don't know if I like this.
Would
So it was like it's something
would
I had to
you
use it.
would you want to use it next prep?
I th- I think so, but maybe take it out earlier. Because I
Yeah.
think we used that until like 10 days out and then 7 days out. I'd say let's
Yep.
take it out like 2.5 weeks out, something like that. I think it
Yeah,
takes
I
about two
agree.
weeks to get out of your system.
Yeah, yeah.
But then again, it
Depending on the
worked.
dose that you're on, it
What we
definitely
did worked.
worked.
Like I looked
It
tight.
definitely worked.
But we
Yeah, but
also we weren't
now,
at a crazy dose.
no, we weren't. But also too, now, especially being in the open class and not having
Mhm.
a weight limit, we need that. We need as much pop to your muscles as possible. You know.
Yeah, 100%. Um, let me see here. I think that's really it, bro. Because he asked me the same question. That's it for the questions.
Yeah,
You have
that
anything else on there?
is is. There's one more that we'll hit really quick, and then
Sure.
because we're coming to an hour and a half here, and plus two, I need to get to bed soon. Um, Matt Twig, how to grow while keeping your waist under
Oh.
control. So we'll touch on this one briefly. Um, Number one, make sure you're not overfeeding for no reason.
Hmm.
You don't want to be overloading yourself with food, um, especially if you're not processing it all, because you are what you absorb. As I spoke about earlier, you want to make sure that your gut is in a good state of health, because if you're not absorbing it, leads to possible gut dysfunction. That could lead to distension. Um, Three, watching your growth hormone use. That coupled with high amounts of food, I've seen it does cause distension in people. Um, Making sure that you are practicing your vacuums if you're prone to it. Even in the off season, you keep that TVA band nice and tight and strong. You'll be able to keep that stomach in a bit more efficiently. Make sure you're training your abs. Yes, train your abs, not your obliques.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, those are the general points I have. What do you got?
Yeah. I all the same things. Don't be fucking lazy. Train your abs. Suck in your stomach. Don't let it hang out. Like I cannot stand people just walking around with their gut hanging out. Like, just suck it in. Like, I don't know. When I was like a little kid, and if I let my little belly hang out, my dad would be like, "Stand up straight." Like, he hated that. Like, I cannot stand seeing bodybuilders just let their guts hang out because they're relaxing. You're just making yourself weaker. The longer you let that thing just sit there with all your food and everything, like, you're just letting that abdominal wall get weaker and weaker. Suck your stomach in, do vacuums, do abs, do planks. I'm a big guy who likes planks, but you don't do planks to just hold it. You suck your stomach in, and I'll do
Yeah.
vacuums while I'm planking, even now. And also, it's going to help your actual conditioning and ability to do it on stage. Like, back in the day, it was always like, never train your abs will get too big. Yeah, I'm not trying to say load up the ab machine with 200 pounds, but just do crunches. Do like a couple hundred crunches. They're just little 6-inch crunches. It just keeps them engaged. So that's my advice there. And the same thing you said: don't overeat for no reason. On your cheat meals, don't overeat. Um, Actually drink enough water. Make sure you have enough sodium. Make sure you're digesting your food. Make sure you're shitting. These are like, especially when you start getting the past 250-pound area is when things start really, really mattering. I think that there's a lot more gut distension issues from laziness than even drug use. Like, that's my personal opinion, because I've seen guys use a decent amount of stuff, and of course genetics are involved there too. How well they respond to them, but the guys who do take care of their stomach do better, and belts do work. I do believe belts work.
I oh yes they do. Because when I was
And
18, I
yep,
had a size medium Cardillo. Later on, even at over 250, 290, I was wearing a size small, even though the notches got pushed further out. I wore my belt every workout, all workout. From it did not come off from beginning to end.
I still the same size Cardillo belt that I had for T Nationals, and it still fits on the same belt. When I'm
Same
off
one.
season, I wear it a few notches bigger,
Yeah.
but when I'm in contest prep, my stomach is still the same size. I was right around 28 inches for the Tampa show.
Yeah.
So, like,
And
you can
it
control it.
definitely works because it's forcing you to hold it in while you're training during those sets.
Yeah. And at the same time, like, like, wear your belt, but also, yeah, like, suck your stomach in. Like, that's not good for you, because, like, I don't like the idea of like totally letting your gut hang on your belt either, because I feel like you can give yourself a hernia that way. That's my
Yep.
personal opinion. That's how
Hold
guys
it
get,
in.
I think they tear their linea alba above their belly button by doing that and by letting it sit.
Hmm.
And knowing how to wear your belt is important too. We don't wear them like fucking powerlifters up here. It looks so stupid. I can't stand that. It looks so stupid. I know why they do it, guys. I know why you guys wear your belts like weirdos, but where you're wearing it down here, so it's a little higher in the back. You're wearing it downward underneath your stomach like this and sucking in. Um, so
I used to
yeah,
put it over my belly button
I wear it under my head.
to do
No,
that
I'm kidding.
thing
Yeah, right on the belly button, where I wear
Yeah.
just below, right there in my weak spot. Um, you know what I was actually interested in? That new that Versa Grip, like, half belt, half waist trainer thing. It's like a soft kind of belt. I'm pretty.
Okay.
It's got like it's like the Chic belts. Remember those?
Yes.
They're kind
Yep.
of, so it's like that, but it's bigger, and it's kind of like a waist trainer. It's like this big, but you can
I know
still
what you're
cinch it
talking
down.
about.
It looks
It's
pretty good.
there's not belly band. Joe Sullivan was a part of the company for a short bit. I don't know if it's still around.
Yeah, I
You
texted
would
Aaron
wear
about it. He likes it.
oh, so that's probably the same one.
Yeah, and
I
I know
forgot the
Jared
name.
Feather is really into it too. So
Breathe Band. I forgot the name, but back then I was having when Joe was a part of the company. I don't think he is anymore. I was recommending people use it. They would use it all the time, and it did work.
yeah,
It worked great.
yeah, it looks comfortable too. Because now, after, so with the hernia, I got the waist trainer that had like the straps and it's a little bit longer, and it's just more
Hmm.
comfortable than a belt, and I love that thing. It's way better. So, and dude, if anybody out there has a freaking hernia, just fix your hernia. That was the best thing I've ever done, man. That was so good. How much smaller my stomach got from that, because I'm like, am I getting a fucking gut? Like, I was really freaking out,
I
but
remember.
I couldn't feel my abs when I did crunches. I felt the top part, but the bottom was just, it wouldn't connect to my brain. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then Andrew's like, you're way too fat to have an outie belly button right now. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I had like a thumb sticking out of my belly. And I'm like, oh yeah, that really stings. So then, yeah, obviously we needed to fix. And he did a good job. He like put the incision right on the lip of my belly button so you can't really see it. Like you can't really see it in my pictures.
No,
Um,
not at all.
and this is the best my waist has ever been in my whole life. And this is my third hernia. I think that when you're prone to them, you're like if you had one, you're probably prone to have more.
You could relapse and get another one much easier.
Yeah, it's been three separate ones, three separate places. But if you have a hernia, fix it. It's also dangerous if you don't, because mine was getting pinched, like
That's
it was
right.
like cut off, and it was only about a little bit bigger than my pinky, but the way it was pinched really stung. It like felt like someone was poking my dick with a fucking hot iron all day. It was really uncomfortable,
Yeah, that
especially when I wore
surgery
my belt.
that surgery set off the year for you. Gave you
Hmm.
rest. You took a break. It was a good reason to take a break, and then you turned pro. So
Hell
it's a
yeah,
good reason
man.
for you guys to take a break.
Yeah. Well, I think we hit everything, dude.
We did, we did. We
I'm gonna
have.
slam some.
What are you gonna do?
I was gonna say I'm gonna slam some food and go train, but I got to go easy on my back today because my old man
You're not.
traps.
You're
Yeah, my
not.
knot.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep. It's 10 o'clock. Did everything I had to
Yeah.
do for the day. Trained right before we did this, and then back at it tomorrow AM. So
And you said you got a guy going to nationals, right?
yeah, one guy, Justin, he's doing the heavyweight first national level show. Um, no expectations. He's never competed in a national level show before.
Yep.
Comes in peeled, so
Hmm.
he changes a lot, especially the last week. So he's around 230 right now. So, but like I said, he changes dramatically when the peak process begins. So
Nice.
he'll be in the last time he competed was last year. He was 212.
Nice.
So yeah, he should be in the 220s come showtime. So we'll see what
How,
happens.
how how big is your guy that was in Japan? Like how tall and big is he?
5'9", 100 kilos the day of the show.
220,
101 point. Yeah, it's like 220,
225.
100 kg. I'm so used to talking to him in kg. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
220. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
220. So
Nice.
yeah, he put on a
I saw some
lot of
pictures.
effort.
He's got some room. He's got some room though. He's gonna be big.
Yeah, a lot of room. Like I said, he came from classic. He killed himself to make that weight. Started a year ago. So I think I'm going to. I know he wants to compete this year. So for Minaj, I don't know if we're going to do that. We need the size. So that's a big. He has good shape. He just needs to add more. He needs that size everywhere.
What do
So
you think? There's a lot of great classic guys or great guys who are stuck in classic who should be in open.
I don't know about a lot because
I
there is
think
that
there's a,
genetic cap, but there is definitely a good amount of guys.
I think there's I think there's a lot of guys who we've talked about this too, like that they think classic is like entry level bodybuilding, and I really wish that would go away because just because you can make the weight doesn't mean you're meant for that class.
Yeah,
Like these guys who are like the Olympians, they look big at their weight cap. If you look small and stringy and stuff, that like just get out of that and go to bodybuilding. You know, like if you don't want to be 250 pounds, 260 pounds, I get it, but like if you want to complete, if your goal is to have the best possible physique that you can have, I think a lot of these guys that really should be in open. Because like if I was 185 pounds, I wouldn't look good. That's not what I meant to be like.
not in your body type. And plus,
No.
too, some of these guys they just don't look classic. They're
Yeah.
just trying to fit into. They think it's smaller bodybuilding, and it's in a way it is in a way,
Yeah.
but it's not supposed to be like you don't have that classic shape, and just because you don't fit in, it's no, it's just the same thing with the physique going into classic. You may not have that shape. It may not be for you. So or maybe there are some guys with amazing legs and shape that go from physique to classic. Um, but it's not for everybody. Same thing like with the classic. You don't know
Yeah.
unless you try either, right?
Yeah. But I mean, like in if you're an amateur out there and you're thinking about doing your first show or whatever your second show, just they make weight class in bodybuilding for a reason. Like just be in that weight class. Like
That's why
there.
that's why it kills me. Should I do classic or should I do regular? Do regular. You just stop fitting yourself into this. It's not supposed to be. It's not novice bodybuilding. It's not supposed to be
No.
novice bodybuilding.
I cannot stand that idea. And like all the way to the national level, man. Like you have weight classes for a reason. You start out, you can do teen. Now there's novice. I never really heard of novice when we were younger. I guess it was
I
always there,
didn't.
but
I
You
did
did?
it. Yeah, I won it. No, when I was 16, I placed fourth in the novice. 18, I won the novice and won the novice, and it was great classes, novice overall, and that was my only novices that I did. But yeah, they were around back then. Now there's novice and true
True
novice,
novice,
which
kind
I
of
don't.
novice, a little less
Yeah,
novice.
1% novice, and then you move up. Yeah, there's a lot of different ones, but it was
You know what
around.
I just realized too? I remember filling out my entry form for the Tampa Bay Classic, the level 3 show, right? That's what it was. But you had to show like your address that you were part of that region because that's what a regional show was. Like I guess you could compete anywhere, but like on the form, I remember you had to put it there, and that's what the rules stated. I'm sure people still competed elsewhere,
Yeah,
but that was the idea. You like won your area, just like in any sport, like in wrestling, you win your district and the regionals and so on.
right.
You know, so like I don't know, I thought that was pretty cool. Like the idea that you win locally and then you go to the next bigger one. There's like a statewide show, So I know that's off subject. I was just thinking about that. I was talking to Andrew
Supposed to be
about it.
that way.
I
I
think it'd
don't
be
think it's
cool.
like that. It would be. Well, it's supposed to be like that.
Like you're getting better and better competition. You just keep going up rather than like, oh, my first show is going to be Southern States. I'm like, okay,
No,
but
you had to work your way up that ladder.
yeah. But all right, dude, I'm gonna eat and head to the gym. I'll talk to you soon, okay, bro?
Perfect. Have a good workout, bro.
Wait, and if you
Oh,
haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe. We're growing fast, and we really appreciate all the
yes.
positive messages we get on Instagram, on here. A couple crazies out there. We appreciate it too. Keep putting your crazy shit on there. Helps the algorithm. So,
I
all right,
agree.
guys,
Till next
and
time.
till next time.